It is now my pleasure to invite our next speaker, Puan Farah Idayu, the senior consultant from IIM. Puan Farah has more than 10 years experience in ISO, auditing, and anti-bribery and anti-corruption field in various industries such as manufacturing, construction, property, developer, and government agency. She is very, very experienced. So she's going to talk to us about the methods to protect you and your company in relation to Section 17A of MACC Act. So one for this session, 1 hour and 50 minutes has been allocated for Puan Farah session to ensure that our participants, especially the SME, can learn more from this session. So for the first hour, Puan Farah will be talking about the methods and the instrument that can be implemented to protect you and your company. And then the floor will be open for question in the last 50 minutes. So Puan, good morning. Hi, Puan.
Hi,
Hi, are
Chen.
you ready?
Ready.
All right, so
InsyaAllah,
the floor
Chen.
is yours.
Okay, thank you, my dear Chen.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Assalamualaikum, ya. Very good morning, ya. Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, my name is Farah Idayu binti Jaafar. Yeah, I am a senior consultant for Institute Integrity Malaysia. Yeah, actually, I've been assigned with an interesting topic, for today. Yeah, on how can I ensure, my company is protected and corruption free. Yeah, so within 1 hour time, I hope, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, any question, you can drop me the question, and I try to assist my best, to answer all the related question in regards to our topic for today. Yeah. Okay, so this is the big words, for the corruption, corruption, and I believe, ladies and gentlemen, today, is all aware, about the word of corruption, because in daily basis, we always heard about this word, through the media, social, through the newspaper, radio, and etc. So actually, what is corruption? Corruption is the act of giving, or receiving any gratification or reward, in the form of cash or in kind of high value for performing a task in relation to his or her job description. In other words, corruption adalah rasuah yang you memberi ataupun menerima, dengan niat terhadap diri you sendiri atau completion of your job. Itu maksud corruption. Okay, untuk cause of the corruption, why corruption happen? What is the root cause of the corruption? It coming from the four elements, actually political and economic environment, professional ethics and legislation, habit, custom, tradition and demography, law, media, freedoms. Okay, for the political and economic environment, besarnya politik inside your company atau besarnya industri ekonomi, di dalam sesuatu negara, akan terjadinya, kenapa terjadinya corruption? Because ekonomi itu akan dikontrol oleh pegawai-pegawai, dan authority yang memegang ekonomi itu sendiri adalah pegawai tersebut. So for you to complete your works ataupun any application for the approval, you need to deal with this pegawai, this pegawai ataupun authority. So this is the facts ataupun the cause of the corruption. Okay, next point kita adalah on the professional ethics and also legislation. Professional ethics ni, we are talking about how is the medium, inside our company ataupun inside our country, adakah you membenarkan corruption ni diwar-warkan ataupun dikongsi, untuk dijadikan salah satu salah laku yang dijadikan punishment, punishment seperti salah laku yang lain. Adakah impact dia tu is advertised to all dan dijadikan a proven evidence, untuk dijadikan salah satu kesalahan. This is under professional ethics. That's why, because this element is not really enforcement, so it become more wider, under professional ethics and legislation. Okay, about the habits, habit ni, I believe everybody is aware also, Okay, you langgar lampu isyarat, okay, then you kena saman. Before you receive the letter of the saman also, you akan offer because there is a habit ataupun culture, there is a tradition, making inside ourselves, our country, whereby it is a part of the normal norm, that become a corruption matter, indirectly. Okay, about the low media freedom, about low media freedom. Adakah social media kita yang ada sekarang ataupun any televisions, media of radio, is a freedom for us, to channel about the case of corruption ataupun salah laku melibatkan corruption before being blocked ataupun before I been forced into any punishment. Okay, itu yang tidak dapat dilihat lagi for this moment on the freedom of media social ataupun any platform of media for everybody to use, in reporting the corruption or informing about the corruption. But for the whistleblower channel, I believe maybe some of us, ataupun ladies and gentlemen, you have heard about the whistleblower channel ataupun whistleblower act, di mana whistleblower, orang yang memberikan ataupun reporting about the corruption, is protected under this act, whistleblower. Okay, so next is on the Malaysia rank, where is our country, nowadays, from the report that I referred here under CPI, that been reported by Transparency International, Malaysia is the least corrupt nation, out of 180 countries actually, and this rank is shared together with the Rwanda, Italy, and also Arab Saudi, So this is a good, good analysis or index reported, whereby the index been reported for 4 years twice, 4 years, and then the index that I noted here is from 2019 data, Okay, industry in Malaysia most affected, by corruption, might be gentle and ladies and gentlemen here, maybe you coming from this industry, this one is also quote from the SPRM website also, whereby the most industry in Malaysia affected by corruption is under construction, financial service, retail, and also natural resources, So previously also I do have industry experience, because I also involved in manufacturing, construction, sewerage, and also maintenance, maintenance under hospitality. So based on my observation and the nature of involvement inside the industry also, and this is the fact, where you can foresee, the corruption is indirectly happen due to the personal interest or reward that you want to achieve at the end of the result sebenarnya, And example I take for you, for the construction area, construction area. I've been with the construction area almost 4 to 5 years, 4 to 5 years, and also property, property area, whereby the construction area, the corruption terms, the corruption norms is a normal, actually for them, because you've been treated, by your contractor, subcon untuk makan, adakah belanja makan tu is part of the corruption? So that is the part of the element whereby, ladies and gentlemen, you have to differentiate and have to understand what is the terminology of the corruption, and adakah boundary yang I entertain ataupun I involve into, it is part of the corruption. And corruption also involved inside the 5 main field, 5 main field whereby it mostly affected at the procurement ataupun process of procuring activity when the tender or contract activity is involved. Because the here statistic show that 42.8%, under procurement activity is involved with the corruption elements, and then about the enforcement, enforcement is involving the authority, 23.9%, is affected, by the corruption, and administration, process application you approval you pun involved on the corruption, that give a 13.4%, of the element corruption, licensing and permit, this is not also, okay, 8.6% element of the corruption, and last but not least, financing and also revenue, that is 8.1%. Okay, so next is on the factor of corruption. We already learned about the cause of the corruption. Then this is the part of the factor to relate with the cause of the corruption also. Why corruption happen, and why you are seeing at the TV, media, social, you can read from the newspaper about the corruption. ABC guys has been caught and investigate under the corruption. But what at the end of the journey of the investigation, what happened? Ada tak punishments or any requirement to be charged under this guy ABC? What is the factor that caused this guy of ABC to involve with the corruption, and how it reflect to your company? Okay, so the low salary, trade and low moral, sometimes it also give a part of the factor, part of the factor whereby the individual, might be our staff, our employee are involved of the corruption. It is not only involved inside the company, whereby the individual is handling the contract or the tender, but it is outside of the company because of the might be the factor of the low salary that enforce her to be involved inside the corruption. Okay, next is on the using bribery to win contract. I believe this is the norm also. Indirectly, based on the competition, and you want to get the contract, and that is a gift. Datanglah gift, datanglah a value of cash, entertainment, to trade, the personnel or the person in charge that handling a contract, to give for you to win the contract. That is also part of the corruption. Okay, implementation of project without much monitoring. This is also happen to the industry of construction. Whereby the monitoring, less monitoring, you cannot see what happened to your what happened to your colleague or supervisor, layman you that monitor the progress is doing, without your knowing, without your knowing, dia tak tahu apa yang berlaku di bawah, then the corruption to happen for them to complete the work, because sometimes the subcon is handling by the supervisor, and this is the corruption element to complete the work easier and also fast track. So the corruption factor might be involved. Taking shortcut to meet target by company, when economic time are tough. Sekarang tengah berlaku, economic times are very tough, then you want the shortcut. Okay, so you terima corruption, for you to luluskan sesuatu. Okay, this is also part of the factor of corruption, to get rich, to get rich quick syndrome. This is come to the principle of sendiri, diri sendiri. How you want to handle. Orang bagi pada you, 1 million in front of you, do you want to accept or you don't want to accept? Okay, giving a bribe as a customary act, as a customary act whereby benda tu menjadi benda yang saya mention tadi as part of the norm, benda yang biasa indirectly happen, and you rasa benda tu adalah betul, tough economic time, tough economic time ni macam mana bullet yang ketiga keempat tadi juga, that force you to do this, to take the corruption. Okay, how to secure your company for the corruption? This is the prevention, the prevention based on our topic just now. First, avoidlah risk. Avoid risk, because the corruption is part of the risk, sebenarnya. Under section 70 capital A juga is mentioned about the educate procedure. Might be my colleague tadi Izzati had mentioned and explained to you about the educate procedure. Inside the educate procedure also, it is part of the requirement whereby you have to identify a corruption risk management. So bila kita identify the corruption is part of the jauhkanlah diri kita daripada corruption. No corruption. An effective way of avoiding risk is to entirely eliminate the hazard that give risk in the first place. Okay, if you have identified the corruption inside your company, you have to analyze what is the effect what is the impact, and the corruption risk ini adalah dekat what medium, adakah at a high impact ataupun high level of the risk inside your organisation, and how to prevent it ataupun how to do the action to prevent the risk. Okay, number two is adopting effective and coordinate policy against corruption. So the company, ladies and gentlemen also here, you have to establish, wujudkan documentation, dokumentasi yang melibatkan corruption. Nanti BRIBERY policy example yang statetkan ataupun listkan what is the principle ataupun pegangan company terhadap corruption. Apa yang company boleh buat? Example macam Izzati mention tadi, no give policy. How you handle the no give policy? Adakah you allow the gift to be received, but with a certain limit of boundary, with a ringgit Malaysia of 500 only, example. Okay, where is the policy has been stated? Adakah di communicate kepada you punya business associate, you punya vendor, you punya subcon, you punya contractor, okay, has been communicate well enough or not from your policy. And then untuk staff, okay, staff di bawah kita, are they aware about the MACC requirement, about MACC requirement, about the company principle dan pegangan company terhadap penerimaan dan pemberian hadiah, dan apa stand company terhadap corruption. Dan itu adalah very important for you, for the company, from top to bottom, for you to list down what is your process, what is your process, and also impact, dan juga from this analyzation, what is the boundary between the company for you to protect yourself, if your employees still commit ataupun involved with the corruption, and what the company can, what is the offense of the company that you can mention, that you can protect. Okay, this is very important element, you have to ensure the company is established policy against corruption. Okay, next is on the fair and transparent system of procurement. Ini lagi satu point di mana whatever policy or process that you have draft, cantik process you have draft, but if the staff is still involved in the corruption, it will jeopardize your company punya image juga, So the company, ladies or gentlemen, you have to make the system of the procurement is transparent. Transparent di mana you punya staff, you punya business associate, you punya vendor, and all the related party that involved inside your procurement activity is aware about company principle. And for the stand of the company towards the staff, you have to very strict mention in example inside the code of conduct. Code of conduct tu adalah satu buku di mana you menyenaraikan semua prinsipal company terhadap pelakuan kaki tangan di bawah you berkenaan corruption. If you are involving inside the corruption, apa punishment yang you akan dapat? Might be the disciplinary action, deep investigation until the termination process. Okay, this is how the transparent system of procurement must be done. And some of the organization here also, they establish a system of procurement whereby no involvement of the human, whereby all the bidders, all the contract, all the bill of quantity, BQ, is transparent inside the system, whereby nobody can interfere in the selection of the pricing inside and the selection of the bidders also. That is example that I can give to the ladies and gentlemen on the transparent system of the procurement. Okay, next point number 4 is on the strengthening the integrity within the company. This is refer also to my point, number 2, on how you establish, educate procedures. Where is the company stand inside the corruption? Okay, ensuring the administration of the company is transparent. Is transparent, accountable to the staff, free of conflict of interest, free to be reported, operates on the basis of clear rules. The wording, I want to attract attention of our ladies and gentlemen here today about the wording of conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. based on the organization that I experienced to be involved with, they don't understand about the wording of conflict of interest. Yeah, conflict of interest is not only for you to use, in declaring that you don't have any interest towards, for the vendor example, towards company, business and relative and etc. The conflict of interest also for the staff, our employee also, to fill in, to declare, that they are not involving ataupun don't have any interest for any tender A, B, C and etc. And then when during the recruitment process, they feeling the conflict of interest because the candidate that they are interviewing, is not involved in any relative with them. For the process of the recruitment can be smooth and without any interest indirectly ataupun directly. Okay, this is from the previous slide. We prevent, how we prevent. Okay, and if the prevention ataupun control measure is not taking, daripada company-company, ataupun organisasi, it will cause an effect, effect of corruption, whereby I take the three main bullet point here, iaitu organisation, impact of corruption can damage employee punya moral, it can damage actually. Mungkin ada yang nampak ataupun tidak nampak, some of the employee is trying their best, to work with you, to work with company with ethics and kerja betul-betul, and when they have to involve, sometimes they have to involve with the authority ataupun second party authority that investigate your company, audit your company, second party audit, that indirectly have a business interest, to the company, and to close the audit findings, ataupun untuk membuatkan proses of the investigation to be smooth, they want some ringgit Malaysia or any rewards or entertainment for the sake of closure. So it happened actually, and it will affect the moral of employee, di mana the employee has been forced to close the issue and to entertain the second party with the request from the second party. That's why kita kata daripada point number 1 ni, we have to stand our firm to the second party. This is part of our company policy, whereby we have the medium of how we manage our corruption. I'm sorry, sir, this is part of our policy here. So we have to be professional in dealing our process, our company, business, and also dealing with our second party. Okay, number 2 is individual impact of corruption, disciplinary action. Yang ni yang tadi Farah mention tadi, about our staff, our employee, how you handle your staff. You dah buat ni all the process, documented all the process, communicate all the process. Tetapi at the end of the process, your staff still involved in the corruption. So what will you do? What is the evidence, that you can give to the authority to mention that your company is well enough, educate enough in terms of the shield that mention your staff is educate, that has been educated and been trained, been aware, about this corruption element. So that's why it come to educate procedure balik, and then daripada situ kita ada investigation punya procedure, dan daripada investigation procedure tu, that is the disciplinary action before termination, might be maximum to the termination process. So bila kita ada stand benda-benda ni, so the staff also is afraid. Okay, the company is very strong in the disciplinary action, and I have to avoid the corruption. If the information ataupun educate procedure ni hanya ditulis ataupun di capture cantik-cantik dalam buku, di display kat dinding, di dalam almari without enforcement from the top management, no point, actually no point for the company to adhere ataupun to show to everybody that you are under corruption, fighting ataupun free from corruption. Okay, next point is the community impact of corruption. Community impact of corruption ni, it will give impact of the lower community confidence in public authority. And it happened nowadays, whereby this is under my observation, this is my observation, and it is open to the ladies and gentlemen point of view also, whereby when there is a corruption happen within our country, within our company, our confidence to involve with the authority ataupun person yang in charge with the element dah kurang, dah kurang. We cannot put trust to the element of the authority dan juga person yang kita assign yang dia sendiri pun buat masalah dan involved di dalam corruption. So that is the, kita back balik pada slide saya yang pertama tadi, the big word of the corruption, how the important of the company individual in battle of the corruption. Okay, so I think that's all about my slide. So any question from audience? Please brief to us. Thank you, Chen.
Hi. Hi, Puan
Hi,
Farah.
Chen. Hi.
Sorry. So, thank you for your presentation. So there's this question from one of our attendee. So if the commercial organization just formed the Integrity and Governance Unit, IGU, and the unit realized that not all the anti-bribery compliance procedure are in place, and at the same time, the company is securing a $1 million procurement project, what will be the best move for the unit to implement their anti-bribery compliance? Is there a checklist for the company as a guidance?
If the commercial organization just form, the Integrity and Governance Unit just form.
Yes,
Okay,
just
just
fine.
established.
Yes.
Okay, and the unit realize not all the anti-bribery compliance procedure in place. Okay, and at the same time, the company securing a $1 million procurement project.
Yes.
What will be the best move for the unit to implement their anti-bribery compliance? Okay, is there a checklist for the company as a guidance? Okay.
Yes.
So thank you for the question. From the point here is you just establish the governing units, and also you have, in the other hand, you have to secure company millions of ringgit Malaysia projects. Okay, so what you can do here for this question, the governing unit have to check back, review back all the policy for companies, and you have to establish based on the requirements of section 70 capital A and also the anti-bribery management system, whereby the requirement of the procurement, until the share of the company to you have to until the limit of the company to you have to protect and process to the documented can and been aware to everybody to have to be established overall. So the first step to review first. What is the current thing that company have and don't have? What is the gap? You have to come up with the gap analysis first. Okay, what the company have and don't have, and try to establish first. Do the company have the checklist as a guidance? Is there a checklist of the company as a guidance? We do have a checklist for the company as a guidance also, and also it's a good for you also to establish based on your company also, because the requirement is same, but the nature of the company too different. Jadi the principle of the checklist too can be followed, but you have to change it accordingly to your company practice also. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so does that means that
Mm.
while when these cases happen, whereby they are just forming up and just design their anti-corruption procedure, and at the same time there's a 1 million procurement going on, a basic procedure at a basic what is it called, a basic adequate procedure or a basic checklist can be applied first? Is that that will be sufficient enough, right? And
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
right.
that is sufficient enough. But as I mentioned just now,
Yeah.
yeah, that is not only a checklist, lah, yeah.
Yes.
It's a good for you to establish a
Okay.
procedure, yeah, for everybody to follow step by step, yeah, follow step by step on how you want to do a tender process. Okay, what is the requirement of the tender process? Is it you have to capture inside the tender process the requirement of anti-rasuah?
Mm-hmm.
Where is your company stand?
All
Okay,
right.
yes, then it must be supported, yeah, inside the awareness of the staff also,
Mm-hmm.
whereby the procedure ataupun proses yang you capture tu can be followed by everybody, not only for your staff
Mm-hmm.
but for the stand of the vendor. Okay.
All right. So the
Mm-mm.
next question that we have is, can you please differentiate the difference between bribery and corruption by giving some example?
Sorry, check.
Can you please quote some example of difference between the bribery and corruption?
Okay. Okay, this bribery and corruption is a different words, yeah, for ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Corruptions you give and you receive. Yeah, as I mentioned just now tadi, you memberi dan menerima uh, sesuatu in regards to the intention of yourself to get something. Yeah, you memberi untuk you mendapatkan contract. Example, yeah, you win the contract. You
Yep.
memberi, okay, memberi in term of cash ke ataupun entertainment ke or etc. Ataupun you menerima, ya, menerima rasuah ataupun menerima corruption untuk you solve the problem. Example, you kena saman, you bagi RM50 for the policeman. Example, ya, for you to not to get saman, for you to bayar RM300. That is a corruption also. Okay, bribery, you are using your position. Yeah, you bribery pula, you are using your position. Yeah, for your intention at the end of the process too, for your how to explain, for your kepentingan untuk diri
Yep.
you sendiri.
Okay.
Untuk you okay, untuk you ambil seseorang ini ataupun you appoint seseorang ini for the sake of you punya intention. That is bribery.
Okay. Um, in the definition of corruption, what does it means by in kind of high value?
Sorry, Chen? In
In the
in
in
definition.
hello? Yep, sorry. In the definition of corruption, what does it mean by in kind of high value?
Okay, so this is how to say, because the high value words
Yes,
is
very
always been,
subjective.
yes, very subjective. That's why I smile, yeah, actually, because the wording until now we cannot make one point of the decisions, high value of the words. It's based on the practicality of the organization and the business activity of the company. That's why I mentioned the stand of the company. Example, I give example, yeah, to ladies and gentlemen, yeah, about no gift policy ataupun gift process, yeah,
Mhm.
whereby you capture company won't allow, company don't allow to receive any high value item. What do you
Yep.
mean by high value? Okay, adakah the perspective that I use the handbag of Coach for RM2,000, for me is okay, it's not high value, but for
Yes.
you it is a high value. So that is
Yes.
an interpretation that the company have to decide, and also the
Okay.
lavish words also. Sometimes the organization is using the lavish words. It's okay, you don't accept the item that considered as a lavish example. So as I mentioned just now, okay, the back to the principle of company, you have to put what is your boundary. Within
Yep.
RM500 is RM1,000 is a high value ataupun tidak. Okay,
Yes.
that is the determination by individual, because the perspective ataupun understanding from different nature of individual ataupun background of the environment from the individual is different. Macam I mention tadi, mungkin I kata RM2,000 untuk bag Coach,
Yes.
handbag of Coach is okay. It's a normal for the price, but for the medium people ataupun layman people, is very expensive, and that is a
Yes.
considered as a high value. That's why it must be clearly captured inside our procedures.
All right. Thank you. So another question is, can anti-bribery management system prevent our company from the corporate liability provision?
Okay, no. Definitely no. That one is part of the requirement. The part of requirements, and also reference. Reference whereby it is also captured inside the National Anti-Corruption Plan, whereby the company, you have, it's good for you. It's good for you to emphasize or practice the anti-bribery management system, because it is a comprehensive requirements, clause requirements, whereby it gives step by step ataupun process by process on how the company to develop a process untuk you company yang tak ada lagi apa-apa proses tentang corruption, how you want to manage anti-corruption. It's good for you to refer and establish one by one according to the requirement. Okay, clause 4 mentioned about you have to identify what is the internal and external party that involved inside the company. So company akan ikut that requirement. Company akan ikut requirement tu. Then clause 5, what is the interpretation, principle ataupun pegangan top management terhadap corruption? Do you have established the policy, anti rasuah policy? That is requirement number 5. So that is an example that I want to show to ladies and gentlemen, about ABMS. But if, as I mentioned earlier during my presentation tadi juga, how bombastic ataupun beautiful capture of the word inside your process, procedure, but if it is not supported under clause number 5 inside ABMS from the top management to down ataupun from our board, because anti-corruption inside the ABMS is from it's special, it's a unique requirement whereby it involve governing body,
Yes.
board of director. So board of director, you have to sign the policy of anti-rasuah. Jadi whatever that has been implement activity must be made known to the board. So this is to show the importance of the company in managing the anti-corruption, because it involves directly, not only for your top management, but directly to your board. That's why I mentioned it is unique a principle requirement, and it is different from the standard. The standard might be, ladies and gentlemen here today, my audience, your company is experienced in ISO 9001, customer satisfaction, environmental, ISO 14001, OSH, occupational safety and health, ISO 45001. So this principle of requirement is not required until the board, but the ABMS is required involvement until the board. That is the unit lah, as I mentioned. But dia bukannya secure your company, macam saya kata, secure your company daripada being charged for any corruption.
All right.
Okay.
So is it fair to say that the first thing that a company and organization and basically everyone should do is, first you must stay integrity and do not commit any corrupted act, and ABMS will actually act as an complement and a type of system, a documented system to protect your company further if really anything happen, like maybe some of the staff still continue to commit this type of act, right?
Yes. But it will assist your company lah in protected your company, your board member, your top management, that I have established educate procedures whereby I have communicate with my staff, and they also have declared the understanding of the policy, and that is enough for me to protect my company, and the punishment or the investigation is directly not involving the company but only the staff. That is the beautiful of this requirement.
All right. So the next question: So sekarang kita dalam situasi COVID-19 dan kebanyakan SME dalam situasi survival company. Apa yang boleh dilakukan oleh SME untuk bagi komitmen kepada Section 17A?
Okay. COVID-19 I also afraid about this word actually. So ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have any important things better you stay safe at home take care at home sebenarnya. Okay, even though it's a COVID-19 I believe all the words of integrity words of corruption, fighting the corruption we cannot avoid. And it's also happen daily, and you can see inside the TV every day about this corruption about this corruption. Then macam mana you as a COVID-19 punya environment sekarang tu for you to comply with this requirement. As I mentioned just now tadi if you are under the companies it's back again into your educate procedure. And also you yourself sebelumnya datangnya is a company is must coming from the staff itself. Staff tu adalah diri kita sendiri, our individual. So before kita mentioning about any requirement of corruption ataupun Section 70 capital A, you yourself macam I kata tadi dalam slide, avoid the risk. Avoid the risk of corruption. Stay at home, and then we just do our work and understand the requirement of Section 70 capital A. What is the impact? What is the impact and what company can do to you as an individual? If you are involved inside this one.
All right.
Okay.
So another question. Are all banks in Malaysia categorized as commercial organization, and who are they?
All banks in Malaysia categorized in commercial organization.
Yes, I believe this question is actually more relevant to the session 1. Yeah, but if Puan, if you can answer this, I think it would be great as well.
Can I reserve this question first, Chan?
Yes, no problem, no problem. Yeah, I think this is more relevant to Section 17A session in the first session. So the next one that we have, how to formulate the company bribery policy and procedure for the SME.
Okay. How to establish actually?
Yes.
Okay. Enforcement has been made on the 1st June 2020 for your info on the requirement of Section 70 capital A MECC. So for the industry of SME, it is good for you to establish first the policy statement within your organization. Policy statement tu adalah satu keping kertas whereby you tabulatekan atau you capture all the informations written information about your company stand in avoiding ataupun managing the principle of anti rasuah. Apa channel if there is something happen for your staff ataupun from your vendor, if you have a vendor to channel the report to your company directly or indirectly. Ada tak channel of whistleblower that is silently can be reported to you directly ataupun kepada you punya board of member. And then what is your principle of anti rasuah, your gift principle. So it can be captured inside one policy statement for the company to emphasize, and then it can come out progress by progress for the educate procedure to support the main policy ni yang telah di vet through been signed by your board of members.
Okay, so the next question, is it a back-to-back akuan pembida imposed to subcontractor sufficient to protect the main contractor from act of corruption by the subcontractor?
Is a back-to-back account pembida imposed to subcontractor?
Akuan pembida.
Is a back-to-back akuan pembida imposed to subcontractor sufficient
to protect the main
contractor from act of corruption by subcontractor? Okay. I'm not so clear about the words of back-to-back akuan pembida. Might be it can be elaborate detail.
I believe it might
Might
be
be elaborate detail.
continuous. Yeah.
Account pembida imposed to subcontractor sufficient. Okay, might be just roughly. I'm sorry if my answer cannot fulfill the question. Yeah. Okay, for the back-to-back akuan pembida, might be this one is a part of the system for the procurement. Yeah, if it is manageable via the system, yeah, and free from the interruption of the second party, third party, or influenced by any party, it is part only for a medium, yeah, only part of the medium that you capture your procurement process or activity against the management of your subcontractor and also contractor. But just to answer you, is it sufficient enough to protect main contractor from act of corruption by subcontractor? You have to improve, yeah, you have to add in more elements, not only about this element only, yeah, but how the involvement of your top management, yeah, and how is the declaration and also the output of the system itself, yeah, um, and also interest, yeah, is not influenced by any interest, can give evidence, yeah, can give evidence. This sebenarnya evidence saja, can give evidence that is a manageable enough, yeah, for this process. But
Correct.
not only for not only for this scope saja, yeah, dia kena
Yeah.
overall process.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think that's all from the participant. Thank you, Puan Farah. Puan Farah, thank you very much for joining us today and speak to us. It was very informative and very interesting. Thank you again for your time. So hope to see you soon.
To Shan, before I end my session, yeah, I just want
Alright.
to share with everybody, yeah, with ladies and gentlemen also, that is from the various industry that I involved, yeah, with high high involvement, yeah, high involvement and also indirectly and directly involvement with the elements of corruptions. Yeah, I just want to share with the participants. That is some words, some word that from the 1% that I keep inside myself here. These ladies always mention to me, if you go anywhere and you stand with your principle, you always bring your principle. The principle will bring you to be a better person wherever you
Yes.
go.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
The corruption actually is coming from yourself sebenarnya. Yeah, it's not based on the company or anything, because the company also is being built up by the person, So if your principle, yeah, principle to that means you put a stand, put a stand. I don't want to involve in any things that is beyond of my ethics principle, so you will be safe. Yeah, you will be
Yes.
safe, and God always bring us to the right channel and also to the
Yes.
right
Correct.
way.
Yes. That's true.
Yes, yeah. So how the company want to prevent? It is recap again. Yeah, you have to establish a procedure, make awareness to everybody of your staff. What is the impact if you involve? Yeah, and also the stand of company, yeah, towards this anti-corruptions. Actually,
Yes. Correct.
so that's all,
Thank
Jen.
you very
Thank you
much.
very
Thank
much.
you, Puan. Thanks for your presentation once again. Thank you.